Hi, my name's Andrea, and it's been a while. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to. I kept having week after week thinking, oh, I'll vlog this week. I'll vlog on Tuesday. I'll vlog on Thursday. No problem. I'll vlog on Friday. Never happened. I'm sorry. I've been busy with schoolwork. I was actually inspired by one of my assignments. It's for psychology, and it's a paper, and... Why are you here? We're making a vlog. I'm just going to tell him a story. I don't really need the... What? I kind of don't need your help with this one. You don't need me? No, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry. Do you mind? Okay, fine. You can be in it, but minimal, okay? Yes! Anyways, I'm actually going to talk about the topic of my paper for psychology, which is about an early memory or something that affected you when you were really young that helped develop you into what you are now. And so what I decided to go with was, when I was really little, I actually underwent a very major surgery when I was about 1.5, 2-ish. Some very distinct memories from my childhood of being in the hospital and... In the hospital? What are you wearing? Scrubs. Well, I know what you're wearing, but why? Because I'm in charge of props. I said minimal. Yeah, but this is not minimal. I know, but I just wanted to... I'm telling the story here. Fine, but I'm still prop master. Fine, but be quiet. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Okay, as I was saying, when I was a really little girl, they actually discovered that I was born with a cleft palate. Now, if you look up pictures of cleft palate, you'll find a lot of, it shows up on the face a lot, and mine actually was only on the roof of my mouth and resulted in there being a hole, a literal hole in the roof of my mouth. So I actually couldn't, eat properly, and it was just a problem. So they decided to fix it. My mom insists that I was far too young to remember any of this, but I remember being in the hospital. At one point during the whole process, they put an IV in me because clearly I couldn't eat food or anything. So I put the IV in and I pulled it out, and so they put splints on my arms so I couldn't pull out my own IV. But I looked really pitiful, I guess, as a small child in a hospital undergoing surgery with these splints on my arms. So a sympathetic nurse took them off for me, and I ripped out my IV again. In came the day team, and they went to go put it right back in to my arm, but I would not let them, and I fought with them apparently for hours. According to my dad, he said he had to stand outside. It was dreadful. I can't imagine watching someone do that to your child. So he stood outside and watched as the day team tried to get this IV back inside of me, and it went on for a really long time, and they just could not get it. So they just left it be, and they were like, forget it. Child can starve for all we care. Not really. I was just being difficult. So night team came in, and they were like, psh, that's the day team. We got this. We're going to put the IV back in her. So they come back inside my little room. This is how they walk. This is how official physicians walk. And night team came in to put the IV back in, and they fought with me for hours. And to no avail, I, as a 1.5-year-old, was completely frustrating 2 separate teams of phlebotomists, I think is the word for it. People who put needles in other people, phlebotomists. They couldn't get the IV back in me. So my dad just told them, stop it. Just stop torturing my daughter. So they said, fine, you know what? You figure out a way to get water inside your daughter because she's stupid and she won't let us put needles in her arm. So my dad went down to the gift shop that was right downstairs, and he picked out a puppet of looked kind of like a wolf, kind of like a dog. We're still not quite sure on which it is because we still have it to this day. But he brought this little puppet back, and he would sing me songs with it, and he called it Water Dog. Eventually wore me down, got me to drink water, saved my life essentially with this dog puppet, and while 2 teams worth of people couldn't get me to do the same. And that's how my dad kind of saved my life, because I was a stubborn 2-year-old. So thanks, Dad. My dad told me that when I came out of the surgery, all he could see was just stitches all around my mouth, and my parents were so terrified. And it just made me appreciate my parents so much that they went through all of this for me, and I was able to get the cleft palate on the roof of my mouth fixed, and it was not a pleasant experience. But some of the other memories from the hospital include when I got to leave, I couldn't really walk very well. I was very small, and I was probably woozy from drugs, so my dad got one of those plastic car things, that you would pedal, you just push along with your feet like Flintstone style, but because my feet had needles in them, I actually put my feet up next to the steering wheel, so say the steering wheel's here, my feet were just up on the dash, and I got to honk the horn, and my dad pushed me down the hallway so that we could leave the hospital so I could return back home, and it's very distinctly, I remember that being very fun, and it was a special moment, and yeah. I don't know, there's not much to it, but it's special to me. So yeah, that was my experience in a hospital as a 2-year-old. I hope it was a coherent story, because I know I didn't bother to script this because I just wanted to vlog, just get it out there. So to make up for that discordant mess, I want to talk about Doctor Who, but I don't know if you've seen the season finale. And oh my gosh. Oh, it made me cry. Did it make other people cry? Comment down below. Tell me what you thought about the Doctor Who season finale, Rory, Amy deal. Angels in Manhattan's mess. Gosh, I was a mess. It was so bad. But it was so good. Thank you, Moffat. I support your writing. Okay. Bye. Until I eventually muster up the courage to post again. In the hospital.